Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, Bitchute channel, and I've signed up for Rumble. So I'm going to see how I get things up there also. So anything is in the description box where you can follow me, where you can donate, where you can book for readings, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much for sharing, liking the work, and just commenting, being around, listening to what I've got to say. That means a lot. So I thank you all for doing that. There's something that has been really blowing me away, and I've mentioned it previously, briefly before, but it's something that I didn't predict to be happening. Something that I didn't, I certainly haven't touted for, but there are people coming forward anonymously, and for the main part, and donate in because they are happy with what they're hearing. It's helping them along the way with these daily energy readings, with the tarot. And that blows me away, and I appreciate you all so much for doing that. I really do. So all of these different ways that you guys help me by listening, commenting, liking, sharing, and then this new thing that's happening where people are donating, what fabulous energy, and what a way to be validated, heard, and loved, and showing that compassion and love. So I appreciate that so much, and you better know that the intent is always there for all of you that listen to me talking and resonate with the readings, or don't resonate with the readings, that the intent is always put out there from myself that you reach your highest potentials in any given day and make your life what you wish it to be, what you want it to be. So thank you all for that. So this is for the 18th of February 2021, and it's all emotions, which you can probably see from me gushing. There's emotions all over the shop. It's pretty crazy. So excuse me if I'm a bit snivelly. I took a bit poorly last night. About 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I ended up waking up. I'd not long gone to sleep. Waking up feeling really poorly, a bit of a temperature. It'll just be something that's going to pass quick. My body's working its way through. So excuse the puffy eyes and sniveliness. But the emotions are flowing for sure. And so we've got on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Tower card. And so this speaks of it being in reverse for a start. And so this speaks of where the Tower card is in the upright. We can see that there's this crashing, thunderous, fiery thing happening, change happening, that is altering the perception of the ego, or bringing light to a part of the ego at the top of the tower, that is taken away from the true essence. And that can be happening from external forces and within forces of self, and or both. And so this is where in reverse there's an avoidable energy to this Tower card being quite so thrashing, quite so trashing as it could be in the upright, in that there is, via your actions, via your words, your deeds, your thoughts, via the steps that you take, you can either bring it on and bring on the Tower energy in its entirety, or this is a warning energy of something that can be avoided, something that can be prepared for, something that can be looked at in the with foresight, rather than having to deal with it just crashing and thundering in. So there's an avoidable cataclysm, is it? That's the word I'm looking for, I think, where there's this explosion of energy that, you know, seems to send debris everywhere in your life. There's an avoidable energy to that you can steer yourself away from that to some extent. There's still going to be some changes here, but the gravity of the changes, the gravity of the intensity of this energy of the Tower card is definitely under your control and under your steering. You're the captain of your ship, and there's a cliff that you can see if you're willing to look, and you can see it in enough time to be able to steer away from it, to steer at least far enough away from it that your boat doesn't sink. Because the Tower card in the upright can often have us initially feeling like we're sinking, like we're drowning, like we're on fire. And that's the elements working through the body, the spirit, the mind, in order to process the Tower energy. It feels like for some of you, other people outside of yourself is either via jealousy or possessiveness, is trying to bring this Tower energy to you, and it's not actually your Tower energy to own. There's certain aspects and teachings that you can take from it for sure, for yourself and for your growth. But this person doesn't mean it for that. This person isn't getting what they want from you, and so they want to bring their Tower moment that should be theirs alone to your doorstep. And so there's that energy also, which would speak to the avoidable energy of this Tower card in reverse, in that you can control your actions. You can't control this person, but you can control your responses and your actions towards this person, i.e., you know, having zero contact, no contact for a lot of you with this kind of energy around you in your life would be for sure the best advice right now, to take away the power of what they would wish to do. If they can't have you, nobody can, kind of thing. That's what I'm hearing. And so we've got on the bottom of the other deck is the Page of Swords. And so this is the truth-seeking page. It's words, wisdom, intellect, thought, and its endeavor is to find the truth, find the source of truth. And so but there's gossip here also. And for those people who resonated with what I've just said about this person trying to bring the Tower energy to you, there's gossip involved with this. And so you might feel like you're having to do a little bit of detective work to find out who you can trust. Some of you are very questionable about your friends, that should have your back, that should have your six, absolutely. But there's just this intuition that you know something's up there. And so be careful of that. And again, although this page energy wants to go out there and is very active, very ready to go get a kind of energy, the advice would be, if this resonates with you, to, instead of go out into your friendship groups, into your business or whatever it might be, to investigate. That's actually going to give you less truth than sitting back and watching and almost taking yourself out of the situation, out of the circle, and watching from the outside in, with a stillness, which this page energy finds difficult for sure. But that's where you'll find more of the truth. In the silence, that's where the truth will be heard. And so this is where it's a little bit of a struggle against self to not be hooked into wanting to go out, question and investigate others to find out where you lie, where you sit. Right now, the advice is that you are your ship, you are your island, and to focus on you is the key point. All of these outside distractions, whether it's through what's going on the collective stage or what is going on in your circles, they are external forces that are trying to steer you towards this Tower energy. Don't let that happen, and allow the truth to be heard in the silence. One really great thing that I admire about my daughter is that she's super compassionate and intuitive, but she has a sternness to her also, which is a beautiful sternness, because that sort of melds into a compassionate side and what and who she protects with that. But she speaks when she has something poignant to say, and that's like me and her can go into, you know, chatterbox mode and chat about anything. But as far as this energy, she would be the one that would say hello, then say nothing else. And she finds, I've watched her do this as she's been growing up as a kid. And she has this power and dominion over self, in that she doesn't feel the need to fill up the empty space with words. And 9 times out of 10, through different stages in her life, I would see people who weren't of great intent, whether it was a child that, you know, wanted something she had, down to adults. She, as she's grown up, those people fill that space up, and they actually go above and beyond and get more and more extravagant to fill that space up. And this is where she's measuring them. And so in the silence, they speak the truth. And so taking your energy away from that like this would be super powerful. It would be a place of power for you to stand in if this resonates with you today. So we've got the Three of Cups, but it's in reverse. And this is where those friendship groups are really coming up in those energies that are questionable. This is where there's been, instead of it's smiling to your face, celebrating with you, but actually wanting your demise behind your back, on whatever level that might be. And it's cruel. It's nasty and it's childish. So if this resonates with you, you are the queen, whether you're male or female, this divine feminine energy, but predominantly female, you are the queen. And so your intuition is not wrong. What your intuition is screaming out to you, that, you know, maybe talking stopped when you walked in the room, or stories have changed along the way. There's something to that. Your intuition is not wrong, and this friendship circle, or these couple of friends within this friendship circle, are working hard to sabotage. And this is where you need to maybe really feel into your emotions and see, why are you still connected with these people? What is keeping you corded to them, tied to them? And this is where the growth and expansion would be for you today. As far as relationship, there's some of you that have been questioning the integrity of a relationship that you've been in, as to cheating and things like that. And unfortunately, whoever this is, that you're questioning your partner, who you feel like you've done nothing but love and adore and support, and you're also in question of a friend who you feel like should be a sister. And so this is where your intuition is screaming out to you also, that something's gone on there. Even if it's just at the level of an emotional affair right now, it's very much not nice. It's not from a nice place. It's not from a thoughtful or compassionate place. And so there's things to be found out here. But one thing is to remember that you are this queen, to remember that you are the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is absolutely emotions, waters in flow, but she can pace it. She doesn't lose herself to emotions. It's her element that she uses and conveys her will and her way through that element of water, of emotions, of feelings. But she can pulse it also, just like the blood at a regular pulse going through the heart and throughout the body. She can measure it also. The emotions are not in control of her. She's the queen. She is in control of her emotions. She channels the emotions rather than the emotions channeling her. And so this is where you need to maybe keep a check on reminding yourself of that, and be in grace, be poised, and be quite silent. You know, do that trick that my daughter just does intuitively, and let that space be empty. They'll tell you exactly what your intuition is needing you to have confirmed, just by giving them that empty, uncomfortable space. Because you see, one thing I've noticed, if people aren't uncomfortable, then my daughter is a really pleasant, intelligent, balanced energy. She's a pleasure to be around. So even if you were having a quiet day, me and Abby, because there's no ill intent on either side, she's my daughter, I love her and appreciate and respect her and honor her. She does the same for me. We can sit in silence, and then we can burst into chatting or laughter, but we can sit in silence, and neither of us feels like we have to fill it up, because we're not hiding anything from anyone. So this is a really good way for you to have your intuition confirm things for you, but then in the physical, using that intuition and that paced grace and poise to allow these people who mean harm to give you confirmation of exactly what you need confirmation of, for you to grow and expand through this, and ultimately for some of you move on. Yeah, so it's not easy by no means, but there's huge growth and expansion opportunity in this, as to why you have these people around you, why you've put up with it for so long, and why you didn't maybe listen to your intuition first time round. And all of these questions to self are expansive questions. They are questions that challenge you to grow, that challenge you to understand yourself more. And that takes away from the heartbreak. You're part of your own game there, where you're deciphering your own emotions and feelings and hooks and cords that maybe need to be dissolved. Yes, baby?
Can I whisper something in your ear?
1 second. I'll pause this then. 1 second. How do I
don't know.
pause? 1 second, sorry, I'll just mute. Sorry. So Theodorable, the Aquarium Barbarian. And so we've got the next one, which is why I was saying this is all full of emotions. We've got the Two of Cups. And so this is speaking of finding that balance, even from this upsetting and imbalancing situation, because you are acting as the queen, because you are using this as yet another opportunity to grow. There's this Two of Cups energy, which means that a lot of you are maybe going through soulmate stroke, maybe twin flame energies, where you have these people in your life, and you know, this is part of your growth. This is part of the contract you've made with yourself to decipher and work through these past wounds, or these past lessons that you want to really understand and expand away from and expand beyond. So a lot of you might be going through that kind of energy. Some of you, you know, people who you've known before this lifetime, that you've created some kind of bond with, that actually, even in this painful situation, you were meant to feel this in order to challenge yourself to very hidden hooks and wounds that need to be transmuted and healed and dehooked, taken out, so they don't have power and dominion over you again. And this is beautiful, because it shows that you're doing this with the grace and poise of the Queen, with this Two of Cups energy, because this is also your balance of your divine feminine and divine masculine. Finding that balance within chaos is so powerful, because what can touch you, if you can still feel particularly emotionally balanced in even the toughest of situations, the most disappointing of situations, then what can take you down? Nothing. And so this is where you're recognizing this, and you're recognizing the power in this also. And so then, unbelievably, this is awesome. The Two of Cups has the Temperance card, the Major Arcana Temperance Aquarius card, funnily enough. And look, it's balancing the two cups. So you've got the two cups in balance here, and then you've got this Temperance card, which is absolutely all about balancing energies. It's about channeling even the most negative to the most positive of energies, and learning how to use your circuit board that you have, your energetic circuit board, to transmute that energy and ultimately either make it even more blissfully powerful, or transmute it from even the most negative to something that challenges growth and a charge and a spark, or again from negative to positive. So you get in this challenge, and you're meeting it head on, and you are staying in emotional balance. You're not being triggered, which shows that you are bolstering this idea of you are in dominion and sovereignty. You are a powerful goddess energy. You are able to learn how to transmute the energy as a source of nourishment around you, no matter where that energy is coming from. With this temperance card, it speaks of staying in balance, staying in flow. It speaks of grounding. It speaks of energetic flow. It speaks of being able to keep that balance amidst the most pressured situations, which, if you're resonating with this, no doubt it's been a very pressured situation. And there will be that time that you have in the bathroom where you're crying, and that's part of the temperance card. That's not a weakness. That is a physical response to built up energy, where you're letting those waters flow. You're letting them, just like exercising, you get a lot of that energy out, and you sweat and you perspire, and you have to release that in order to get an equilibrium, to get a balance for your body to stay at the right temperature. It's the same thing with emotions. You know, so whoever it is that I can see crying in the bathroom, that's okay. That's part of this. That's part of the process of transmuting these energies. And that isn't a weakness. That is a strength of being able to do that. Some people get so out of balance and so hurt that they struggle to cry. And that's a weakness. I do that. I can cry, and I could cry for whoever's resonating for this right now, in both sadness and joy. Sadness that you've been hurt and betrayed, but joy in watching you grow and expand during this time. So for other people, I can hook into those emotions, those energies, and bang, it can be there. But for me, I find that I struggle to cry over anything regarding me, and that is a wall that I've built up far too high because of past abuses. That's a wall that I've built up far too high for it to be in balance, and I recognize that, and I have to work on that. And it's such a big wall. I'm not kidding. It's more of a chipping away at it. It's taken some time to be able to do the same as I do for other people, channel those emotions and let those emotions flow. For me, I find that difficult because of this wall that I've built up. So you feeling weak and feeling like maybe they've won because you're the one that's been crying, whoever I'm speaking to, stop that right now, because that is a strength, that's a power, and that is your body being connected enough to your emotional self in order to know what to do. Just like I'm feeling a bit poorly today, right? And so my body knows to create a temperature. It's cooking out whatever is not right. It's cooking out and microwaving, so to speak, whatever cells it is that aren't that are out of whack, that are causing whatever I'm feeling right now, the achiness or whatever. And so this is where it's my body's response, being connected enough that I've just done that subconsciously. I haven't had to to give it command to do so. And so this is where you have had that power and strength to just allow your emotions, your tears to flow subconsciously, being connected enough to self that you don't have to give that command. You've just allowed that to be. And so this is a strength, this is a power. Don't look at it in the way that others would have you look at it or want you to look at it. So this is the Temperance card and the warrior of the Temperance card, being able to stay tempered, tepid, in temperance, in balance, in the most challenging situations. It's a funny card because it is the water bearer, and you can see it's got the foot in one foot, is in the water, and the other foot is on the sand on the ground. And you can see that this is where there is a channeling happening. There's grounding, but there's also connection to those waters, to those emotions. So this transmutation is happening through these two chalices, through these two cups, across the heart chakra area. Now, this representing this stream, this flow between these two cups, is the transference of energy. And this is where the transmutation takes place. And it's because it is crossing the heart chakra, you're crossing it from a space of compassion and love for self and others involved. But at the same time, this is a powerful card, these red wings depicting perfectly symmetrical, absolute balance. But you don't take people's silence or ability to cry as a weakness. No, no, no. This is a warrior energy. This is an energy that, if wanted to, could take the very energy that you're giving to this person and zap you right back, and you'd feel it. But you don't need to, because you know you have that strength. You know the wisdom is to keep it for yourself and use it for your own good, for your own harvest here, for your own abundance here. And even that, taking in the fact that on one side is such abundance, and on the other side the ground is pretty sparse. And so this is where, again, there's balance. You know, there's where there is lack, or where there is something that is in lack, either of a negative charge, of a negative or jealous intent. This is where you absolutely transmute into balance, abundance. From that, you can take the lack into abundance. You can transmute anything that you are challenged with. And it takes these situations, and a lot of times, depending on what we're carrying, what we need to transmute and learn from, it takes these situations to zap us into this ability of the Temperance card and this Two of Cups. And so this is where you're at. So this is super power, although this is difficult, and nobody would say, oh, this is fun. I'm excited for you, because I know that whoever's resonating with this, I know you're going to look back at this at least 6-7 weeks time and think, wow, that was a turning point to where I am now. That was a real point of where I didn't realize quite how big that point was in my life, as to how it's unfolded since then, for the good, for the better. So I'm excited for you, and I know you want to slap me right now hearing that, because this is not how you're feeling, feeling excited. But once you start recognizing yourself in this situation, but as the Two of Cups and as the Temperance card, you're going to really appreciate self. You're going to really want to roll this dice and play this game, because there's super expansion, growth and dividends and abundance and bliss to come from this. And this is the catalyst. This is the door being opened to all of that. So that's where you're at right now, if this is resonating with you. And we've got the Seven of Cups. Again, this is what I was saying, all emotions. I mean, we've got the Tower energy, which is always an emotional thing. Yes, we've got the air there, but the rest is all depicted in cups. And although the Temperance card is an Aquarius energy, that's where Aquarius is out of the box. It's the air card. It's the thoughts and thoughts of others, and thinking outside of the box, the ideas, the science. But at the same time, it's connected to consciousness, it's connected to emotions. It brings forward the emotions, but actually those emotions just resonate with energy, which is therefore maybe the unseen, the thoughts, the words, the insight in that direction. So this is where Aquarius is out of the box. Even in the tarot, it's the water bearer, but it's an air card, and you can see that from the triangle here on the shawl that this Temperance card is wearing. And so then we have this one thing I want to say here is, you see this symbol in the headdress here of the Temperance card. Excuse the turmeric fingers. I was making things with Abby with turmeric the other day, not thinking how much it would stain, especially stain dry fingers, dry hands. So anyway, we have this symbol here. Can you see that clearly? So it's the circle with one simple dot in the middle. Now, over the ages, it's one of the most ancient symbols for protection, for balance, and over many cultures, over the ages, God energy, it's that 0 point. And so this is where you see that don't feel weak for the transmutation of these energies as you go through this process. This is a godly essence. This is a godlike energy, a goddess-like energy. this is powerful. You know, on those and I love these kinds of movies, but you know, like the badass movies where you know, you have the Sopranos and those types of movies, or the biker movies, Sons of Anarchy, one of my favorites. And you know, the young man who's up and coming, and then is the guy, the head of the biker gang. You know, he sits quietly, and it's that strength. Actually, he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest by any means, he's not the oldest, but there's this energy about these types of people who have this temperance energy of and like my daughter, you don't know what they're thinking all of the time, because they are still on the outside, and so you don't mistake that stillness for something that could blow you away, you know, that could do that in a good way or a bad way. There's a strength here, and that I just wanted to bring a point to that, because if this resonates with you today, I want you to really hear these words, hear me, and know this, and know that this is true of you. And all of these things that you're processing in the way that you're processing them are not a weakness, absolutely not. We have the yellow sort of daffodil type things here also is sort of yellow, you know, the depiction of godly type energy. So this is really powerful, and whatever it is, there's been deep healing that's needed to occur in the emotional state. There's been deep lack in the emotional state, if this resonates with you. And so going through this, you are rocking it, because you were going to go through this regardless, but you're just bringing all of the emotions to the fore, and that you're bringing them in balance. And that's huge. And so we've got the Seven of Cups, as the next card. And this is where all of a sudden options are opening up, because you're doing this balance, you're finding self again, you're finding your divinities again here. And all of a sudden, this situation that you started off with these people who are disappointing around you, all of a sudden the options open up. You've got all of these desires, projects that you didn't even realize you had in some parts, and other parts you didn't realize how much you'd put self and what you're driven towards emotionally, what gives you emotional bliss, on the back burner, on the back of what other people needed and wanted from you at any given time. And this, for a lot of you who resonate with this, has been happening from childhood. You've been the kid who would always go along with what your other friends wanted to do, because, you know, hey, you seem like the weaker, more gentle one, but actually through that you're the stronger one, because you've always just been able to take that, whereas other kids would be having a tantrum and screaming out, no, I want to do this. You were able to even be strong enough then to say, no, it's fine, you know, we'll do that, it's okay. You know, this is the kind of things that you're unpicking right now. Now I'm saying that as one of the more menial things, but just to give you confirmation that I'm talking to you, because you'll remember this, you'll remember doing this with siblings, with friends. And obviously as you've grown, those situations become more serious. You've been putting even more bigger projects, desires, ideas, ideals on the back burner for other people, and that's built up. So now you've got this overwhelming sense of, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to get this done, I want to do that. And you can. But remember, keep going back to what gave you the strength to be able to see these castles in the sky, to see these options and feel them again. It was always that temperance, that stillness, that ability to stay in balance. So stay in balance when you're considering what you want to do next, and don't take too much on. Start off with one of the cups, then do the next, and see what sticks, and see what else comes up, and what else you think, I thought I wanted to do that, but actually I don't want to jump out of a plane anymore. I want to climb a cliff, you know, things like that. Be relaxed in it and be in flow in it, and continue to remember what gave you in this situation these options in the first place was this godly like energy that you have been carrying in the middle of all of this with this temperance card. And so with that being said, to clarify the Seven of Cups, unbelievably we have the Nine of Cups. So when I said this is all emotions, I wasn't kidding. This is huge emotional challenges being met, huge transmutation of emotions, and huge power in your emotions, all being met within one day. And so this is massive, because now you have the 9 of Cups, and through you actually getting rid of the driftwood that has been drowning you as soon as look at you. By you doing that, you've got this energy of the dog sticking the sofa and the bunnies running around. You've got this energy of bliss. It's like you're swimming in this elixir of your own strength, your own emotions, and for the first time in your life, at a level of such acceptance of self that it's almost orgasmic to you. And this is beautiful. I want you to go with that feeling. I want you to induce that feeling. Whether you are male or female today, and this is resonating with you, it's the divine feminine energy for sure in either gender. And so this is where I want you to touch your skin. When was the last time because there's been a lack of love from those who should have been showing that to you, if they were saying what they were, if they were meaning what they were saying to your face. When was the last time you just sat and just stroked so gently, touched your face, caressed your face, ran your fingers down these points of real sensitivity, just so gently, and feel that tingle. Do it right now as I'm talking, and feel that caress, and recognize that you can give this to yourself, this deep elixir of wow, I didn't know I was so orgasmic. I didn't know I was so colorful. I didn't know I had all of these ideas and projects and emotions. And it's almost like the floodgates have opened with this. And with the physical touch and appreciation of self, you open up these floodgates in a way that you really are swimming in this orgasmic elixir of self. And this is where the power is today. This is where your truth is. This is where you are at your warrior, temperance, balanced, but in bliss mode. So that's the reading for the 18th of February 2021. I appreciate and love you all. Thank you to those people donating. Thank you to those people just listening. And thank you for just being you. And please leave a comment to let me know how you are swimming in this self-love and self-appreciation, because I back that 100% with my intent for you to continue to do so and find more and more of that strength and power in recognition of self today. Much balance, much love, and much wholeness. Mwah.